Yo, what is up, Laker fam? Welcome back to the Lakeshow Digest. It is a Friday afternoon. Lakers just got a huge game 3 win over the Phoenix Suns at Staples Center, 95-109. What started off as a really tight defensive battle turned into an all-out rout for the Lakers. In a good way, man. We were having fun. LeBron was busting Jay Crowder's ass. That's honestly how I'm going to remember this game. The Jay Crowder shit talk game and LeBron just fuck you response game. But the whole team's playing well. Andre Drummond's being a positive factor on both ends. Schroeder's continuing to get to the hoop. Phoenix can't do anything about him. And AD's coming along. He's starting to look like his old self. We had a really great third quarter, and we took our foot off the gas a little bit in the fourth, and they went on a little run, but I was pretty confident. We hit some tough shots, and we made our free throws. Martin, when did we ever hit our free throws? That was really surprising to me.
Yeah. I'm glad you said free throws, man. Seriously.
I know. And it's really important for the guys to get to the line, especially when they're not shooting like that. Every time that Kuz gets to the line or KCP, that's a win for me because I feel like once they see it going to the hoop a little bit with a free throw, it's
Right.
going to be better for their stroke overall. So I feel like
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, speaking about the free throws, yeah, it's one thing getting to the line, but you got to make your free throws, obviously. And Phoenix is too good to not make that last run, which they did in the fourth. But I got to say, man, I was super confident. I was like, there wasn't a point in the fourth where I thought we were going to lose. Whereas game two, like you knew it could go either way. That came down to the wire and it took some crazy LeBron shots at the end. But in the fourth quarter, I really felt in control. Even after that Phoenix run, I was like, no, we're going to do something to put this away.
Yeah, I do think back to one of the games against Houston in the second round last year, where we just kept fouling them and then they kept getting to the line and we were up 20 or something like that. Basically just fouling them, letting them get to the line. That's always how you let a team get back in it.
Right.
Turnovers too. I mean, we were doing a little bit of that, but fucking Cameron Payne and his threes, bro. I do not like that guy.
Yeah,
bro,
he's coming up the list as a Laker killer, like Ricky Rubio, Andre Miller back in the day. Like Cameron Payne he's on alert when he plays the Lakers.
I know, right? He does not like our team. Yeah, we don't like that guy either. It's all good. But we haven't really potted since we did the Phoenix series, man. Where have you been mentally with this team? Game one to now.
I mean, it's so cliche, but game one really is a feel out game. So credit to them. They kicked our ass. Ayton was amazing in game one. Booker too, and AD just, he had a really bad game, but that's one game. You got to win four. And I love the way they responded game two. And game three, shout out to the whole roster. Shout out to Frank Vogel too. That's that number one defense in the NBA. First time since 2001, Shaq and Kobe days, that the Lakers had the number one defense in the league. So you got to win four games, man. And LeBron being himself, that he's, we did this last year too, right? In the bubble, we lost to Portland, and I was like, we really lost to Portland. And then the next four games, we kind of kicked their ass. And then we lost to Houston. And then the next four games took control. But so it's, you got to give, Phoenix isn't going to go away. This is a damn good team. But I like our chances now, especially getting that swing game. So we have to protect home court. If we do, we'll win the series.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about it, man. I'm starting to feel like Lakers in 5, to be honest, where maybe I give it like a 60% chance Lakers in 5. And if not 6.
Yeah, I think before the series I said 5, and then after they won game one, I was like, okay, 6. And so I'm right at 5 or 6. I don't, it's going to be interesting.
Being hurt is just
Chris Paul hurt. It makes a big thing. It's a big deal. But injuries. Paul just cannot shake the playoff injury. It's crazy. Every time in the playoffs, when he's with the Clippers, when he's with the Rockets. Last year, the Thunder made the playoffs and he was healthy, but then again this year with the Suns. So he cannot shake this playoff injury.
I know. I honestly kind of feel bad for him. I still think we win the series. I mean, it's kind of like the Heat last year. I still think we win that series, but
We win, right?
you do want the team's best
Right.
shot, man. Um, but what do you think the differences have been between, our game one loss and these game two and the game three win?
Well, I guess the real easy answer is Anthony Davis. Like Anthony Davis, that's the response you want out of a guy who's so good and so important and so talented and who is a champion and $150 million contract. He's like, yo, it's on me. After game one. Now, was it all on him? No, it's a team game, but that's just a winner's mentality. And he's been great games 2 and 3. Our defense has been great. I think the difference is game one, I think game 1, 2, especially at home, they really just they were just we didn't have enough energy for them in game one, and I think someone admitted it. I think it was KCP. It's not a good excuse.
I didn't like what he said to the media at all.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a good excuse. I don't like that either. Well, it was an early tip off on a Sunday. Well, fuck, man, you get paid $14 million. Suck it up,
He's like, bro, Dennis was really late. He was up late in the war zone. He was streaking, man.
Are you right?
He
So
had
I
like
do
a
not
30 kill game. We couldn't get him to go to bed, and I understand it, man. So fuck game one, bro. I hate
right.
this like just giving up game one attitude, to be honest, dude.
No,
But
I'm so glad you said that off of that. Yeah, we were in the hotel room, and in the hotel we were playing Call of Duty late. Like, what are you be a pro, man? So I'm not trying to make excuses, but their energy in game one was great. But games 2 and 3, LeBron made huge plays in the fourth quarter. Davis was great. Dennis rebounded well in games 2 and 3. He was great in the last 2 games. And our team defense, man. I love seeing a game like that every once in a while. That brings me back to, old style basketball games. So it was nice to see us clamp up, man. I feel like however many Devin Booker had, he had to work for all of those points. Shout out to Schroeder, Alex Caruso. Who else was on him? KCP before he got hurt. So love the team defense.
The team defense was the first thing that jumped out to me in game 2, man. Whenever a rotation might not have gone well, LeBron would close out super hard. I was noticing that, he was jumping some passing lanes. Game 2, the defense and the effort, like you said, was just the biggest difference makers. Game 3, it was great defense from both sides, man. Really frustrating because we really wanted to get some offensive rhythm going. It's like the Suns knew that LeBron wanted to, like he always does, get his teammates going in the first half.
Right.
And so because of that, they were just playing him off the pass pretty much the whole time, and it was working. Dude, it was like, what, 40-40 at the end of the first half?
Right. Only 43-40. And I was like, at halftime, I was like, okay, so first to 100, because 43-40. Yeah, great team defense by both sides.
I
The
was
Lakers,
expecting like a Detroit Spurs kind of ending where like 83-80.
right, in the 70s, those Spurs Pistons finals games were 78-74. And on halftime, it kind of looked like it was going to be like that. So great defense by both sides.
Yeah. Well, David Stern said we can't have that anymore. No one's watching these finals and they're slow. Like we got to change some rules up real quick.
He changed that quick, right?
Yeah. That wasn't good enough for him. Those are the big difference makers, man. AD getting to the line in that second half of game 2. I love that so much because his jump shot still isn't really totally back yet, but getting to the line, as we talked about free throws earlier, that helps you get your shot back.
Right.
I knew that Phoenix Suns fans were going to complain about the AD free throws, but I thought they were justified calls, man. He's going up for these rebounds and he's getting them and he's getting fouled because the Suns like to foul the shit out of us. Booker also got some bullshit free throws at the end of game 2 that I'm still pissed off about. Those 3-point free throws, remember those?
Yes. Yeah, I do remember. I mean, it's kind of like what you said, man. Like Davis went to the line so much yesterday because he got fouled so much yesterday. Like he was getting like slapped on his wrist and his arm all the time in the post. That's why he shot so many free throws to me. I didn't think officiating was like, if you're gonna complain about something, don't complain about that. He was getting fouled.
Yeah, and like to be fair, the refs these days are just worse than they have ever been.
Yeah.
I feel like
they suck. Yeah, they do.
This past year with the reffing was like the worst I've ever seen in terms of ejections too. By the way, I thought it was hilarious that they ejected Booker. They just love ejecting him, man. Remember
Yeah,
in
that's the second time. That's right. That's a good point. And can we talk about that now? Can we talk about the Booker play?
get into it. Go for it.
Because it's time for the Goon Squad, game 4. There's always a moment. I don't know if you remember when the Lakers played the Rockets in the playoffs, and Derek Fisher like really hit Louis Scola, like it was so blatant. Like he hit Louis Scola on this screen, right, in a playoff game, and I think Fisher knew right away he was about to get ejected, right? But look, man, I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want anybody, but I wouldn't mind someone like a Jared Dudley coming in for 5 minutes game 4. And when you see Booker coming off that high screen and roll, give him one, bro. Give him one. Like, that's not okay. You can't just, I'm glad Anthony Davis said it. That was a reckless play. He was in midair and you just pushed him. And the reason why it bothers me so much is because like Booker's so damn good. Like, I love this guy. He's so talented. He is one of the best players in the world, and he's going to be a top 10 player for the next 8 years, right? So why do you have to act like this? He got ejected in Staples Center early in the year, but that was kind of bogus. He said something to the ref. I don't know.
That's
And then
why
he
I
gets
thought it was so
ejected.
funny that he got ejected this time.
Yeah. And it's like, yo, you're too good to be doing these types of plays. That was my take on it. Look, I don't want nobody to get a black eye on Sunday. I don't want someone to get a bloody nose. But sending a message, bringing in one of those fucking goons like Dudley or who else can Markeith. Markeith is down.
He's going to be goon number 1 once they see him checking at the bench.
Send a message. Frank Vogel, put him in for 4 minutes. And when that screen and roll comes, send Booker to the ground. And if they tee him up, well, they tee him up. That's my take on it.
I love that. Just run a play with the intent of just giving Booker a really hard screen.
Yes. And we're not trying to, but we're just sending you a message like, yo, you can't just like, like I kind of hate baseball because baseball, they have this whole unwritten rule and it's throwing at guys and whatever. But in this case, in this playoff series, like I wouldn't mind sending a message to Devin. Maybe if he's just coming down the lane one time, Drummond fouls him hard or something like that. I don't know.
They've been whistling Booker pretty tight. And I mean, as they do with all superstar cards, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry.
Right.
And he's been hunting the contact for sure. And he's been getting his free throws. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some hard screens on Booker. This series is chippy, bro. These teams don't like each other. I really wonder if they're going to be shaking hands by the end of it because, I mean, do you remember how there's just a lot of like vile, like angry energy from the Suns fans in that game 1 and 2 crowd? I really want to beat them in game 5 because I want to just beat them in front of their faces. I'd really, I'd like to get this done as soon as possible because I feel like they might injure us, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of second that too. Don't like dirty plays. Just like Crowder had a dirty play on Davis in game 2 when he kind of just when LeBron hit that game-winning 3, he kind of just grabbed Davis and kind of like tossed him to the side. Yeah, like what? That's not even a basketball play. Which is why it's so great that LeBron was just toying with him last night. I love that. And I'm kind of with you. Let's try to get a gentleman sweep over in 5. So we don't have to worry about like mucking it up in a game 6 and someone injured or, something like that.
Somebody who's so health and injury conscious as LeBron, I think he's taking that into account too. He's like,
right. I agree.
Done with these dudes. I'm not going to fuck around. I don't like this guy Crowder. By the way, I forget sometimes. I think other people probably do too. Remember him and Crowder used to play together for like half a season?
Yeah, very briefly. Yeah, Cleveland, right?
It was 17-18, his last stint with them. And then he got traded to Utah. I mean, I didn't remember that until somebody on Twitter brought it up, and then I checked it out on Basketball Reference. I don't even know if he finished out the finals with them, but that's funny. You go from being a teammate to a guy to just like hating his fucking guts. I just wonder how that transition happened.
Because Crowder was in Boston. He was in with the Celtics. And that was like when LeBron just owned the Celtics because LeBron was with the Cavs. And that was when LeBron was toying with them. Like just absolutely toying with Kelly Olynyk like dribbling behind his back up by 29 and like doing whatever. I remember those games, those Celtics Cavs games where like the Cavs just like beat them by a drum. And then last year in the finals, Jay Crowder on the Heat was talking with LeBron. He was talking trash to AD. And you know, we got the last laugh though, you know, won the chip. So
I know. I keep thinking about, I'm just gonna remember this game as the game that we flexed on him and that we just like kind of acted like assholes, but it's my team, so I love it. And I don't like the Suns, so I really like it. But I was
yeah,
thinking like with Andre Drummond pretending to post up with LeBron, like
right.
and that meme going around. And also him dribbling between his legs. Once I saw that, I was like, oh come on, bro, act like you've been here before. Like I'm having fun for sure. But the more deep we get in the playoffs, I hope it'll get a little more serious. But then I also take into account the fact that we went on a championship run without any fans at all. So this is, kind of taking that all into account. We have a
Yeah,
playoff crowd again, and we have a chance to win another ship. So it was kind of celebrating from last year's fucking glory, bring it over to this year, So I kind of kept all that in mind. But yeah, we were assholes to him for sure. I thought
yeah,
about if I was a Suns fan, thank God I'm not. Or if the Suns did that to us, I'd be fucking heated. I'd be totally fucking
right.
heated about that. But it was a great night, man. LeBron was able to clown the shit out of Crowder, and he put that move on him. And dude, after Andre started doing the between the legs shit, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, LeBron has to make this because if he doesn't make this after Andre does
right.
all that shit,
Yo, make the shot.
yeah, you have to make this shot, LeBron, because Crowder, Drummond is hyping you up. He's Drummond's kind of our new, barometer of disrespect. Last year it was Dwight or JaVale shooting a three, and if they made it,
Right.
that was
That's
the
a good
ultimate sign
point.
of the
Yeah.
ultimate sign of disrespect. And this year, if Drummond starts mimicking LeBron, that's a sign that the game might be over. That
Right.
Lakers might be dominating it, man. But I'm looking ahead to game 4, which will be in Staples Center. I'm trying to think of adjustments they could make. I can't really think of any. Their threes weren't really falling, so I guess if their three falls a little bit better, they'll be a little more competitive. But without Chris Paul, can't really see a way. And if we're playing well, can't really see a way that they take it. What do you think could be some possible adjustments they could make?
Yeah, I mean, if they bring their same defensive intensity in game 4, I don't see any way Phoenix can win. Unless Devin Booker has like a special night, like 45 points. Because to me, that's
Yeah,
what it's going to take. If we lock in defense, it would take Booker to get 45, maybe even 50. Like, because Paul is clearly hurt. He can't go in spurts more than it looks like 6 minutes without it really bothering him, his shoulder. Um, and at the same time, man, I feel good. Like KCP has been a brick, man, like a huge brick. And Kuzma, for the good things Kuzma has done, he's been really good as a rebounder. I appreciate his effort and his defense. Kuzma's been a brick too. 1 for 11 last night. Game 2, he had a bad shooting night too. Scoring, I don't think he even shot a free throw in game 2 either. So, like, I feel like if we bring defensive energy, our open shots, gotta fall, and it's gonna take something like Booker getting 40 points, 45 points.
I think you're right. Yeah, he is kind of due for one of those really big scoring games, and we've been defending him well. He was catching a little bit of slander on the timeline. You see that? People are just like, "This is the Devin Booker we know." I
I
have to say,
mean,
give more credit to the Lakers. I got respect for Booker's game.
yeah, but Booker's great. Give credit to the Lakers and the team defense. That's why we're the number 1 defense in the league. We have the number 1 team defense. Give credit to the Lakers. Booker, it's his first playoffs. He's not even 25 years old. He's going to be here a lot of times. So give credit to us. And I feel really good about Sunday because I just think that we have to start making shots, right? Like, we're missing
I have faith that it's going to go in eventually, don't
we
you?
have to, yeah. And not to say that everyone's missing. Wesley Matthews had a couple threes last night.
Thank God,
I
dude. When he hit those, I was like about to cry. I was like, "Oh my God, I haven't
the
seen
thing,
a
thank God, right?
yeah."
Like it's the worst kept secret shooters come to Los Angeles to die, and Wesley Matthews coming through. That's why we signed you as a veteran to make those shots. But yeah, we missed a lot of shots in game 2 and 3. So I feel good if they bring the defensive energy. Paul is obviously, that's a huge factor. We should win game 4. I'm not going to say comfortably, but it should never be in doubt.
Yeah. The fact that they're generating such good looks makes you think they got to fall eventually. I mean,
eventually they have to. They just have to.
I mean, are we really going to remain cold for a whole series and like still pull it? I mean, I don't know. I'm not too worried about the shooting because I feel like these looks are still good. We're still sending their defenders all over the place. I have faith that they're going to fall. I have faith that Kuz's game is going to pick back up. I'd like to see them run some more actions with Mark and Kuz. Maybe that'll get both of them going a little bit. That's something I'd like to see. But speaking of Mark, man, he was I was reading he was a team low minus like 11, and that kind of passes the eye test, doesn't it? Because when they got Booker and Paul on there, they just basically capitalize on Mark's slowness, and they kind of just score whatever they want. But even given that, I like him being on the floor because he still adds a little bit of offense. I still am okay with the Marc Gasol minutes. What have you thought about his play?
Yeah, I have to give credit to Drummond because he's playing.
And you've been
better.
slandering him. Yeah, give him some flowers.
Yeah, so I have to give him his flowers. And Gasol, he it's kind of just like what you said. Even if he has a plus minus of minus 11, I just like him out there.
Yeah.
Because when Mark good games come, and they do come, like in game 2, they are huge for us, for the spacing, for the shooting, for the man-to-man defense. He's going to get burned in pick and roll, just like yesterday. Like he was in like La La Land, just getting like beat off the dribble by Booker. But I like what you said. I like his minutes. I don't ever expect him to play 30 minutes at this stage of his career. And I just like the dimension it gives. I have to give credit to Drummond. Maybe we see Montrez in game 4. I don't know. But I like the minutes for Gasol.
Knowing Frank, I don't think he's going to change his game plan until he gets beat up and, unless his back's against the wall, essentially. That man is the epitome of if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So, right, exactly.
I don't expect any changes unless we get into some trouble game 4. But shit, man, we got another early game, 12:30 on a Sunday. Not looking forward to the energy that we might get. Not looking forward.
Yeah. Hopefully, exactly what you said. The energy is on. Sorry, that's my dog barking in the background.
All good. We love dogs here. He's probably got some takes too. He's probably like, fuck Cameron Payne. Jake Crowder's a bitch.
He does have takes, unfortunately. He has a lot of takes.
Takes like feed me right now, you asshole. Come on.
Right. Now he's going nuts. Yes, I second that, bro. 12:30, please have energy on a Sunday.
Yeah. I think that about wraps it up for my thoughts on the game, man. You got any final words?
No, man. Let's wrap it up not wrap it up, but go up 3-1. We know this is a huge swing game. If they bring this effort, like we said, shots are going to fall, and we'll be up 3-1. I feel very, very good about game 4, bro.
I feel really good too. I feel like we're still we're starting to become that best version of ourselves, man. And finally, enough people are on the floor where we can get used to each other. Drummond's coming along, man. He's getting open shots. He's getting these lobs I love to see. Dennis Schroeder still doing really fucking good.
Yes.
I feel good about where the team's at. So thanks for coming on, man. Good talking with you.
Thanks for having me, bro. Anytime.
All right, take it easy.